127 was hard and I'm helping. So, sine of x equals, long story short. Sine of x equals 1/2 or sine of x equals -1. Done! Not quite. We gotta go to the unit circle and say, where is, and I think the problem said only look between 0 to 2 pi, yeah?
Yeah.
Sine is 1/2 in the first quadrant at pi over 6, in the second quadrant at 5 pi over 6, and sine is -1 at 3 pi over 2. So I have my 1, my 2, my 3 answers of x is equal to, not 5 pi over 6 first, pi over 6 first. 5 pi over 6, 3 pi over 2. But the problem actually asks for points. Which means, oh, I have my x's, I just need to do what? Plug them in where to get y values?
The very first.
The very, very beginning. And what does it take to plug in? Unit circle. Simplify. Get nice, pretty answers for your y's. Sound good? I did the hard part. Now, I know. It was a rough beginning. But it should have gotten better after that.
Oh,
Maybe?
probably not.
Where are, there they are. What was the number next one? AKA, what was the first even of homework? 1, 4, 2, here we go. What they wrote is not wrong, it's just not how the AP would write it.
What if they put the 5 in the flat?
I would have written the negative with the 5 to the negative x ln of 5. This is how the AP would write it. If you wrote it like that, sweet. However, if you wrote it like that, that's okay as well. No.
You could have put the negative in front of the natural log too, right? I mean, I had it in parentheses.
You could have put the negative right next to the ln. You could have even made it ln of 1/5, but, yeah, you could have.
Where's that?
Killed a bunny. Derivative of b to the u is b to the u, ln of b times u prime. Okay, period 1, the exact same question. Bunnies were killed in their tail. Good thing they multiply. So, do you have it? Number next one. 166?
162.
Oh, 162. Oh, siento. Here we go. How many people
162.
plugged in from the very beginning? I know. Oh, it's funny. Okay, so, it's kind of funny. If you plugged in right here, you would have failed miserably. Because they don't want f of 5, they want f prime of 5, and we can't find f prime of 5 until we find, quick notation for you, f prime of 5 is f prime of x such that x is 5. Do you guys agree? Snazzy notation last year, such that. F prime of 5 is f prime of x, do that first, such that, then plug in 5. Well, what did they do first? Oh, the derivative rule. Which one? The derivative of u cubed is 3u squared times u prime.
Exponential.
But who's u? G. Derivative of u cubed is 3u squared times u prime. Then they said, oh, now plug in 5. So f prime of 5, in between step, would have been 3 times g of 5 squared, struggle, times g prime of 5. How do you get that? It was a clue that was given to you. How do you get that? It was a clue that was given to you. Now plug in. You have the derivative. Go. But if you plug in here, it's a number, and the derivative of any number is 0. You failed. The AP likes to do ones kind of like this. Give you a non-function or like a part of a function, make you do the derivative with a rule, and then take clues and plug in. You always have to wait to plug in till the end. Okay? Common mistake, just wanted to point it out. Number next one.
166.
Oh, that's 166. Why was he weird? He was. How come?
Because there's two.
Harmonic? What? What's harmonic? Who cares? I mean, it's important for physics, but, coming back. Harmonic motion, they say that y is displacement. What would displacement be measured in?
Feet per second.
Feet. Not per second. That would be the rate or the velocity. So if displacement is measured in feet, isn't he like our position? So when it said find the position, plug it into who? To y, and solve. Little cheaters, they used a decimal. Could you do it? Yes, they were unit circling ones. So 1/4, just by plugging in pi over 8. But then velocity! How do we get velocity from position? Instantaneous velocity, not average, like the quiz.
Plug into the derivative.
Plug in the derivative. Find the derivative. All you have to do is find y prime. Don't kill any bunnies. Make sure to do times u prime, which is 12 on both of them. Then plug it in, and get hopefully 4. Velocity is feet per second. Displacement or position is feet. Couple more seconds. Remember, write down the wrong answer, or the right answer if you got it wrong. Remember next one.
184.
Is this the last one?
Yes.
Some of you might have been like, these were impossible. Didn't I give you 181 also? Yeah. But what are the directions that you're supposed to be reading and writing and summarizing? Some of you said use that formula from up above. And the formula from up above said to find the derivative, what did you guys find? Of absolute value of u, what do you do? How many times? Plug it in, to who? The rule. Oh. So who's u? Sorry. So u prime? Cosine. U? It's sine. Absolute value of u? It's absolute value of sine. Now they do this whole snazzy like, hey, there's a domain restriction because you're dividing by somebody. Yay, good job. But anyway, here's the derivative. Using the rule. Now guys, this rule is not on our test. It's not going to be in your review, but we are going to make it forever after the test. I wanted to let you see it because actually our homework introduced it. All right, you guys might have some questions on odds, and we might be able to look at them tomorrow. Tomorrow's kind of like a big old work day. But for right now, close current tab. We got that. Who is this guy from yesterday? This is our notes, right? What was this page?
Very last one.
I blew your mind just a little bit right at the end of class. I asked you, could you use the power rule? And the answer was?
Yes.
No.
Why not? Power rule, it's a great rule. It's one you're supposed to memorize and even use on the quiz today. But power rule is only applicable when it's variable, x or u, to the number power. So x squared, x cubed, even something weird like x to the negative 2/3, but there's supposed to be a number, and what is not, or what is ln, not a number. Ln of x is not a number, he's a function. Does that formula work? No. So it must be this formula, because this one we can make the x into a u, and ln of x is a u, but what's the b? To use this formula, b to the u, remember ln of b times u prime. What's b? Variable or number?
Number.
Yeah, 2 to the x, e to the x squared minus 1, 3 to the x plus 7, I don't care. B is a number. What is not a number?
That thing.
Fail. Neither of our really nifty rules with powers work in this case. So why on earth did I write an ln? It's a recap. When we put an ln into a problem, it was because we wanted to write him somewhere else. Remember? With ln's, we can put the power in front. No calculus involved, just pre-calc. But what we did to one side, ln, we had to do to the other side, ln. Now what rule can we use when deriving this apart?
Power rule.
Product rule, and inside product rule will be a chain rule, right? But this does require something that we haven't mastered yet. called, I said it yesterday just briefly, implicit differentiation, which says take the derivative of both sides. We haven't mastered that yet. Either we're learning it or we're not learning it yet. We're not learning it yet. It's section 2.5. It's not in the test. So why on earth did I show this to you? Because we were talking about exponential functions. We had a rule for exponential functions, and I need you to see that this does not fit. Exponential functions, b to the u, only works when you have a number raised to some sort of variable power. Power rule only works when we have a variable raised to some sort of number. This requires, didn't we already write him down? Logarithmic differentiation. It needed logs. We didn't have logs, so we put logs in. That's great. But we need to learn another process before we really keep going. So nice news is this isn't on the test or quiz, but it's a coming. All right, cool kids, with that, you wrote down just a moment ago, we're done with him. This, right? I am not a super nice teacher. I'm really not. But I did move the test to Friday. Poor Kay. Not because I'm nice. Huh?
Because kids were complaining.
People do have tests tomorrow, I heard that, but that actually wasn't mine.
That's what we said.
It's hard material, number one.
And we
Number
also-
two, there's a lot to memorize. And some of you didn't have it so good for today. Number three, even the stuff you do know, it's really easy to make mistakes. And what are the multiple choice going to try to trick you on? The mistakes. You're going to make a common mistake, some of you, and the answer's going to be there. And bright lights and shining colors, just but it's going to be right there, and you're like, yeah, I got it. You might have just been tricked. So, I think we need a little bit more practice before a test. So what did I do? I picked out some good review problems. Starting where? At the very beginning, definition of the derivative. Because if I say on the test on Friday, use the definition of derivative, I expect you to solve the limit formula. That's where the review starts. And then past section 2.1, what do we get to start using? Rules, shortcut rules, but they're tricky sometimes too, right? In between the shortcut rules, didn't we talk about motion for a little bit?
Yes, ma'am.
And then we talked about lots more rules. But yeah, motion with position, velocity. In another section, we talked about acceleration. So I gave you a couple problems on that too. I didn't think it was fair or right and I didn't think you would be totally ready if I just threw problems at you and said, hey, go home and figure it out. So you're going to start right now. You have a whole 5 minutes, same thing as period 1. You don't have to write directions to the problems, but I do want you to rewrite whatever functions you're deriving. How come? As you write something like x squared times ln of x, hopefully your brain says, oh, box, triangle, product. So before you start solving derivatives, I want you to write the function that you're deriving, if that's the type of problem it is. Otherwise, no directions, no problems, okay? You're just working it out. You already have it in your spiral. Tonight, you're going to attempt as much as you reasonably can so that you can come tomorrow with questions, possibly, for your group, for me. Maybe some questions from past homeworks for your group or for me. And then I will have some test-like problems that we'll spend half the class time probably individual / in our groups working on and preparing for Friday. Sound good? I have 3 people that nodded or said yes. Thank you. Everybody else? Go. You have 5 minutes. Which I know doesn't seem like much, but it's still quite a bit of time. At least for calculus class. So, but you can check with it. It wouldn't be a multiple choice, it would be a long answer. Whenever it says a limit process, it means definition of derivative.
So what you do, take each. Or yes.
If you have questions,
Sure.
So you put the plug in. for every access on YouTube. So you'll have like the you're saying it's just like no, I mean, okay, so then do you plug in this again? Oh, no. You have, you put this in. Oh, excellent.